Hello, welcome to the channel. So this is the Google Generative AI Leader certification. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I want to run through a playlist that's going to have the entire content for the Generative AI Leader certification program. So this is Google's latest certification. And the certification uh, comprises most of the fundamentals of generative AI. Is an entry-level certification for persons that want to become leaders, that want to use AI to create products, to create services, and that want to innovate, that want to create services or want to automate their services. Now, this certification covers quite a lot of areas, and I want to go through the Google's own generative AI leader sample exams. So it's roughly around 25 questions. So we're going to go through it if you want to prepare for these certification exams. So one of the things we want to look at is how do you tackle the exam questions? How do you select your answers? How do you opt for the best choice for the exams? Now let's look at the very first question. A human resource department deployed generative AI, that's Gen AI model, to screen job applicants and provide a short list of candidates to recruit. Recruiters noticed that now this is an example of AI being used for automation. Recruiters noticed that some seemingly qualified candidates are consistently being overlooked. So there's some kind of bias there. But the AI provides no explanation for its ranking or exclusion. So this is a concept of explainable AI, where we are using AI, but we want the system to be able to explain and tell us what it's actually doing. Now, if you use Gemini AI, for instance, you see where it's trying to generate the answer. If you tap on it, it's going to explain every step of the way what it's doing to give you the result. You call that explainable AI. The company needs to address this lack of transparency, and transparency is one of the core points when it comes to AI framework. Now, what should the company do? The first option is collect a large and more diverse data set for the Gen AI model. Will it solve it? So we're looking at lack of transparency, and we're looking at the AI system not providing any form of explanation. So this is not going to be the best bet. Should they fine-tune the Gen AI model? Maybe. Implement explainable Gen AI policy. So this is going to be the best bet because here we're looking at, aside it's not been doing its job, it doesn't provide any explanation for its ranking. Because if it provides explanation for its ranking, it cannot better helps us to fine-tune the Gen AI model. Now let's look at the second question. So the second question is, a company is evaluating the use of large language models to enhance its operations and customer interactions. Now here we're looking at company's operations, customer interactions. What's the primary characteristics of large language models? Now the first answer is LLMs excel in highly specific technical tasks requiring deep singular domain expertise. They learn and generalize effectively from small data sets for niche application. Niche application, singular, no, because they also do multimodal kind of operations where they can do diverse kind of stuff. So here is saying singular, here is saying niche. LLMs have strong inherent logical reasonings and problem-solving abilities without extra prompting. No, you have to prompt LLMs to actually give you responses. The last one is LLMs are trained on vast data sets, enabling broad language and context understanding. Yes, that's one thing about AI models, because that's why when you learn prompt engineering, when we start going through the playlist, if you've not subscribed to the channel, do well to do so, so that when I drop the 5 modules, I should do that within the coming weeks, you'll be able to be notified. You find out that these models if you want to get the best from them, either Cloud, Gemini AI, ChatGPT, Grok, all of these AI models, you need to have some kind of context to the kind of questions you're asking them. So you need to build context. You need to create rules. You need to say, okay, I am a web designer or I'm a content creator. I want to create 10 articles for a marketing campaign. Such kind of thing. You need to build context and adaptability across many tasks. Yes. So this is going to be the best answer. Now, an AI robot learns optimal package delivery route in a city. So it receives positive scores for fast, successful deliveries and negative scores for delays or failure. So, but this is how it can help learn from the stuff it has done. It's just like when you're on Google Map, for instance. Now, if AI takes you to a particular place and it's correct, and you arrive safely, you said, yes, I arrived safely, and that's the correct location. So it gets a score. What it's going to do is going to help it direct other persons to understand that that is the actual location. But if it got it wrongly, so it now tries to learn from these actions that that is the wrong place to go. Through this feedback, the robot improves its navigation over time. What type of machine learning is being used to train the robot? So is it supervised learning? No. Supervised learning has to do with labeled. Deep learning, no. Unsupervised, unlabeled. Reinforcement learning. So the correct answer is reinforcement learning, because here the AI is actually learning from actions to better, like the neurons, like how your brain works, right? Like if you're going to your office for the first time, the second time, at the third and subsequent times you're going to be going to the office, you don't need to think again. So because it's not part of your brain cells, your brain cells have already learned those routes. You can start driving while making a call, while listening to music, while doing something, while watching a movie or whatever you're comfortable with doing. And you can do all of that and still get to your destination. So that's reinforcement learning. Now, the next question is going to be, a company wants to use generative AI model to automate complex workflows. Now, you see, most businesses have their flows, how they do things, their business processes. And some of these business processes are actually very complex. And we're using generative AI to like automate the entire process and to also improve decision making across its various departments. They are considering implementing Gen AI agents as key components of their strategy. What's the primary function of an AI agent in a Gen AI system? So let's look at the options here. To provide the computing power for training. No. To be the user interface interacting with AI models. This is like the software aspect. To be a smart system that can analyze, use tools, and make decisions to reach goals. To be a central storage place. So this is off it. This is off it. So my answer is going to be between B and C. So this is one way to answer your exam questions. You want to use the option, the elimination method, to look at the best two answers and now pick the best answer from those two options. So it's not going to be this. It's not going to be this. It's going to be between this and this. So here we're looking at automating complex workflows. We're looking at the component of that is responsible for implementing Gen AI agents as key components of the strategy. So to be a smart system that can analyze, use tools, and make decisions, no. So it's going to be the user interface for interacting with AI models. Now, an advertising agency needs to quickly generate many photorealistic. So you need to understand Google services for the different AI platforms. So you need to understand which one is for text, audio, video, image, right? These are the four broad classes of content. So here we're talking about photorealistic images, and you should know that it is imaging. So video is video, then text, the others are text and all of that. So imaging is for images. Now, a company is planning to integrate generative AI into its operation, but it's wary of becoming dependent. Now, This is what we call boxing. Boxing when you don't have an open AI model. You see, Google is known, some very good providers, they want to have a system where they open an open AI framework such that if there is interoperability, you can use their system on other systems, you can use other systems with their system. Now, if they are wary of becoming dependent on just one single provider, they prioritize the ability to choose and integrate different AI tools and platforms as their needs evolve. Let's say, for instance, you are building a system, you are building a software that is going to is going to generate two types of content. You can decide to use Google's View, right, to to create video screens or to create short videos. But when it comes to text, you believe that ChatGPT or Grok or Cloud or these other ones can do better. Is there a possibility that you can integrate the API from Google and also integrate the API from another provider? So that's what you call a kind of an open framework, an open strategy. Now, the first option here is, the question is, how is Google addressing this particular concern? Now, Google Cloud emphasis on an open approach within its AI offering. That's the correct answer. Google Cloud's commitment to tight integrated proprietary AI solution. When you say proprietary, we mean that it is specific and direct to only that one provider. The third one is Google Cloud strategy prioritizes fully managed AI services that simplify the user experience. Yes, that's part of it, but that's not the actual concern here. Google Cloud's primary focus on automating AI workflow. Yes, they do that, but that's not the issue. Here, the concern, how they're going to address it is by leveraging on Google's open approach to its AI offering. Now, the next question is going to be, a consulting research team needs to analyze multiple lengthy reports and documents to find key trends and make client recommendations. They require a method to quickly understand each document's core findings, link information across resources, and efficiently organize insights for their reports. Manual methods are too slow and complex. Which Google Cloud offering should they use? Now, like I said, you should be conversant for the exams. Most of the AI platforms and offerings from Google. Now, when it comes to looking at documents, analyzing them, making voice notes off of them, making summaries off of them, the best bet here is Notebook LM. Gemini will just do, you need to prompt it, then it's going to generate content. But for Notebook LM, you can actually upload PowerPoints, PDF documents, and tell it to like summarize, tell it to make new reports or new documents out of it. Now, a grocery store chain has data in several internal systems like sales, inventory, and marketing, right? Now, employees waste a lot of time searching these systems for information on product performance, stock, campaign effectiveness. They need a central way to easily access and understand this data across the systems for better decisions and efficiency. Which Google Cloud offering should they use? So what's going to be the best bet here? So the question is, we're looking for a central way to assess, understand data across different systems for better decision making. So the question is going to be, we're looking at data. So will it be Gemini for Google Workspace? Will it be Google Agent Space? Will it be Vertex AI Search, Conversational Agent? So it's not conversational agent. It's not Vertex AI Search because this is an API-driven system. So the answer is going to be between Gemini for Workspace and Google Agent Space. So let's see how to differentiate these two now. Now let's look at the case study again. Now they have data in several systems like sales, inventory, and marketing. So we don't want to search these different systems for this different information. Now, I would have chosen a Google Workspace if that we had mention of, let's say, Gmail, Google Doc, Google Drive, Classroom, and maybe some of other Google Workspace products. But there was no mention of that. So this is going to be in different systems. So the best bet is going to be Google Agent Space. Now, a tech company has separate teams using different tools for their machine learning projects, causing duplicate work and scaling issues. Now, so this is a situation whereby a team is using quite a lot of different tools. So it's not really sustainable. So we want a central system, a central platform to manage all of the AI developments, deployments, monitoring, and all of that. So which cloud offerings should they use? Now, should it be Cloud Function? Should it be Vertex AI? Should it be Google Works Agent Space? Should it be BigQuery? BigQuery is Google's own data analytics kind of tool. Cloud Functions we use to create small applications or scripts that can run and automate things for you. Google Agent Space, it's where you have data spread across different places, then you want to centralize issues. Vertex AI is going to be your best bet because what this Vertex AI is going to do is Google's own AI tool that you can use to programmably create systems, automate systems, and you're just using one AI platform. Now, one thing you can do for your exam is that for each of these options, you could just try to run them on AI and get a table to differentiate them. That's to say that you pick these different tools and you want to differentiate them and get a result in a table format. A software company AI chatbot struggles to answer customer questions about recently released features because this information is not in its original training data. Now, you saw that when Gemini AI Cloud, especially ChatGPT, when they came out newly, they had issues answering recent questions. The reason being that the data that was used to train them were kind of old data. You see ChatGPT saying something like, oh, my records is just as far back as 2021. I cannot provide this answer to you. Now, because it doesn't have that data. And one thing you need to know about AI, as its name implies, it's artificial intelligence. So it's not human intelligence. Human intelligence, we have a brain that stores data. And from that data that we have, we can make insights, we can make decisions. But here now we're talking about AI, a software, a machine that wants to make decisions. That decision is not human driven. It's artificial. And the only way it can make such kind of decision, it's when it has data. It's that data that helps you to make the decision. In the absence of data, it will be able to provide accurate information. And here, for this software company's AI chatbot, the point is a chatbot is going to respond from only the data that it has, except it's been trained with a large language model that can intuitively answer questions. But to do that, you need quite a lot of large data sets. Now let's get back to the question. The company wants the chatbot to use the latest product documentations to give accurate, up-to-date responses without retraining the entire model. Your best bet is retrieval augmented generation. Now, for fine-tuning, you have to go back and recreate the application and make it better. For prompt engineering, here you're just prompting, you're just asking the AI model a question. For human in the loop, you're trying to interfere. For retrieval augmented generation, what you're trying to do is that you are providing another ground, you are providing another source added to what it has already to better answer your questions. So the answer is going to be right. Now, the next question is a business analyst asks a generative AI model about the quarterly revenue of a small startup that recently entered the market. The model confidently provides a specific revenue figure and even mentions a supposed press release detailing the company's success. However, after further investigation, the analyst discovered that the startup has not yet released any financial reports. So this is where bias is, where You find out that that's why you see for every AI platform you use, or just underneath the footer, they'll tell you something like, please verify the responses, because that's just like a disclaimer. Please, whatever option or whatever stuff you're giving as a response, it's not so concrete. You just need to do your own verification. So that's one thing you need to know about using AI. It's not all the responses that you get from AI that is 100% accurate. You still need to do, especially for some of us that are into a lot of research, when you use AI to like get some content, you need to still go back and do verifications. I've had instances where I'm using AI to conduct some kind of research. Maybe I need some items from some journals. It will state that social journal, it got information from social journal. Upon verification, you find out that those things are false. So you don't use AI as your 100%, your go-to system for work. You use it only to complement what you're doing. Now, which type of large language model limitation does this exemplify? Is it bias? Is it knowledge cutoff? Is it data dependency? Is it hallucination? So the best bet here is hallucination. Bias has to do with where it's giving preference, maybe to a gender, maybe to a country, maybe to a type of character, all of those kind of stuff. Then hallucination is where it's not actually giving something that's very current. So there's a little bit of noise in its response. The next question is, a Gen AI tool that answer employees' policy questions is providing outdated. Now, when you hear the word outdated and inaccurate information, causes confusion. What should come to your mind should be grounding. Grounding in AI is a way we can ensure that the AI gives its answers, but provides the source, or give its answer and ensure that it's bringing that from a known source. So the question is, what should the organization do? Should they fine-tune? Should they increase the temperature setting? Should they implement grounding principles? Should they reduce the token counter parameter? The answer is grounding principles. Now, a sales team wants to create dynamic, personalized video pitches for potential clients. So you want to create videos, right? So video pitches. So just know that your answer is going to be video. They receive client information in various formats and need an AI model that can transform this information into engaging video content tailored to each client's specific needs and challenges. Which Google model should they use? The answer is view. Like I said, know most of the AI offerings and what they stand for. A growing retail company with fragmented phone, email, basic website chat support needs a unified cloud solution. So this is what looks like a call center, right? So you have phone, conversation, email, basic website chat, but they want everything in one place. They require integrated communication channel, consistent customer experience, and scalable support. What should they use? The answer is Google Cloud Center as a service system. They can use Vertex AI if they want to create everything from scratch. But if you want to use something that is also very scalable with quite a lot or less effort from you, you should be using a Google Cloud contact center service, software as a service. An organization is seeking to improve how its employees access and use internal company information across various systems, scattered across various systems. They want to provide their knowledge workers with tools that can understand and use this data to enhance productivity and decision making. What's the key benefit of using cloud agent space in this scenario? So I think we saw this kind of question earlier on. So this is the answer. So this is going to be the answer. It allows employees to find and use internal information more easily by creating custom agents, custom AI agents that can access and understand data from various enterprise sources. Remember the last question? The answer was agent space, and this is agent space explained in more detail. Now, what's reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning. I talked about this earlier on, where we need interaction, we need feedback to better. So this is supervised learning, unsupervised learning. This is reinforcement learning. Learning by training on vast data to generate new content. This LLM, large language model. And that's what generative AI is based upon. So the answer for reinforcement learning is learning through interaction and feedback. The next question here is, a company is developing a system to automatically categorize customer support emails. They have a collection of thousands of past emails, and each email has been manually reviewed and tagged. So when you see tag, label, such as billing inquiry, technical support, feature request, what type of data it is? Label data, right? What's the definition of generative AI model? So a physical device, no. A complex algorithm trained on vast amount of data to learn patterns and relationship, no. This is an LLM, large language model. A user interface that allows you to interact with the Gen AI system. Okay, this should be an answer. A set of rules and guidelines governing responsible development or use of AI. No, this is like a framework. This is like a responsible AI principle. No. So the answer is going to be between B and C. So, but let's look at it again. We're looking at definition of Gen AI model. So we're looking at the model. So is the model a user interface? The answer is no. Is the model an algorithm? Yes. Right? So don't forget that it's trained on vast amount of data. It's not a physical device. It's not a user interface. Um, a user interface allows you to interact with the Gen AI system. So that is what you call like a chat box or your like the ChatGPT, the Gemini AI, all of that. But the model itself is a complex algorithm. A video game company created a virtual reality game with virtual character that can interact with users in a more natural and intuitive way by using gestures and facial expressions to communicate. I think this is a conversational agent. Okay, a software company has developers who need to write, review, debug, and generate code with natural language descriptions by using Gen AI. What type of agent is this? A code agent. We're talking about developers. An advertising agency needs to quickly create different photorealistic images, right? From text description for client's campaign, because traditional photo shoots are too slow and costly. Which kind of foundation model should they use? Imagine, right? A research scientist wants to use view, right, to visualize live fluctuating data stream. Now, is this going to be very possible? So view is a generative AI model that you prompt it and tell it, okay, I want to create a video of let's say a lion with its cubs and all of that within the forest. Let it last for roughly around 5 minutes. Let it show them hunting. Let it show them eating. Let it show them playing. So you've just done a prompt here. Now, video can do that, but video can't do live fluctuating kind of video. So why would Vue be a poor choice for this? It generates videos from static inputs like text images and cannot process or dynamically visualize data, live data, correct? It lacks specific scientific visualization styles, no? Is Vue used for this scenario would require too many computation? No. Is designed for short form video, not continuous long duration live data display. So my best answer is going to be between A and D. So if I'm going to make a choice now, what will it be? What do you think? So I am going to choose, you can actually use it for long form video. Now, but the point here is that you need to send it static input text or images. It won't be able to process or visualize live data. Okay? I'll just choose that as my best answer. At the end of the day, we're going to see what the answers are and why they are correct or they are wrong. A company sells custom designed phone cases on their website. How should Imagine be effectively used? Imagine is for realistic images, right? Customer feedback, no. Prediction, transcription, no, is images. A company lacks extensive in-house machine learning and AI expertise. How does Google Cloud democratize AI? Now, you have no code, low code, right? And of course, AI models. So for a company that lacks machine learning and AI expertise, how can Google help them? Okay, by offering exclusive access to most powerful AI models, no. Providing fully automated AI solutions require no technical user input. By providing a comprehensive AI platform with low code, no code tools, pre-trained and easy to use APIs. By offering free AI solution development and development for all businesses, no. So my answer is going to be between B and C. You see, I've been using the elimination model a lot because it's one nice way for you to answer questions in your exam. Now, the question again, they lack extensive in-house machine learning and AI expertise. Not that they don't have, they lack extensive expertise. How does Google Cloud democratize AI? Right? So fully automated AI solution, no. So I've just read this the second time and I'm not going to pick this because not all its solutions are fully automated. So the best bet is going to be B. Okay, the very last question is going to be, a marketing team is brainstorming creative ideas for a new social media campaign. They want to quickly generate various taglines, and initial post draft. So this is more or less a text kind of stuff, and Gemini will do the job. They need a Google Cloud pre-built generative AI tool without additional setup. So they don't want any setup. They don't want any programming. And they just want rapid content creation and experimentation. So will it be Notebook LM? No. Will it be Gemini for Workspace? No, because here they said social media taglines and post draft. So they were not talking about slides. So will it be the Gemini Advance? No. Will it be the Gemini app itself? Gemini.google.com? Will it be that? Yes. So that's going to be my best bet. Okay. Let me see what my answer is going to be like. View accuracy. Ta-da. So, okay, let me see. It's, I think, 25 questions. So let me count the answers that I filled. So I'll just scan through. Okay, I filled this one. Hooray. So I just filled one question. So I think I'm ready for the exam. So in the next video, I'm going to run through all the answers and the feedback from Google, and that can also additionally help you prepare for your exam. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video where I'm going to be looking at these answers and why an answer is incorrect and why it's not correct. And I'm going to also spend time to explain each and every one of them.